Hey folks, welcome back. I'm David and we're here in my shop where I build E-War guitars. This is going to be episode number 5 of my GGBO 2022 scratch build entry. And in the last couple of videos we've been working on these the blanks. We've got the neck blank completed and just sitting inside resting and waiting for the next stage on that. And in the last video we started on the body blanks. We've got these two core pieces of the body blanks made up. They've got a Wenge center, and then it's got laminations of both bloodwood and maple on either side of it. And those are going to be the core of our body. And we still need to work on the tops. So we're going to cover the top and the back of these core blanks with this quilted maple. I got a couple of beautiful pieces of quilted maple here. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. They're 6 inches wide and 18 inches long. So the two core pieces I've already made up. They're about 1.25 inches thick. And so that means in order for me to reach 1 3/4, I'm going to have to resaw each of these down to about 1/4 inch. I need 2 1/4 pieces out of this one and 2 1/4 pieces out of this one, which will make this one be my top and that one will be my bottom. And that should give me my 1 3/4 body thickness that I'm after. And I'm also hoping to get, once I've resawed the 1/4 pieces I need off these, I'm hoping to have enough thickness left over in one of these two pieces to make my two cavity covers in the back. I'm hoping so. If not, I've got some more maple over there I can cut up, but I'm really hoping it's out of one of these two pieces because that'll look the best. The grain will match the best and everything else. So anyway, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to get surfacing these and planing them and getting them all set to go. And then we got a bunch of CNC work to do on all these parts before we glue it together. Anyway, let's get going with that right now.
Jesus, please don't be mad. I know that it makes you sad when I simply don't obey. I tried my best, I'd like to say. Jesus, please hold on when I simply don't have a song, and my heart can't give you praise. It doesn't care to even sing your name. But I still believe that you're bigger than all these things. Find what to say. Somehow, you know what you love.
Okay, so that is my top and back on each of these things. They're just a shade under 1/4 inch, and the overall thickness, I'm around just about a 32nd of an inch under 1 3/4, which is fine. That's a perfect width as far as I'm concerned. I'll have to take down this neck a little bit to meet these. I left the neck a little bit wide until I got these made up. And then once these tops and backs are glued on, I'll go ahead and then I'll plane down the neck to match. So what we've got to do now is I want to do a few things, CNC work on these parts before I put them together. So this is the treble side, of course. So I've got my control holes I'm going to want to drill in here. And I'm also going to want to recess the control area on the back of this, take it down a little bit. Probably, this is a 1/4 inch, I'll probably take it down to 3/16. And then at each of the control knobs, I'll take that down even a little bit further. Not too much, but a little bit further. I also want to chamber these core parts too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave around 1 inch of solid wood around the edge, but I'm going to basically then cut out the entire inner part of this to try to lighten this guitar up a little bit because it's going to be pretty heavy with all this Wenge in there. And I want to do that before I glue these parts together. And also on the bass side, I've got my 3-way switch that's going to go up here in this horn. So I'm going to want to drill that hole, drill the recess in the back so the switch will actually fit in this top. And then also drill the cut in the back here the hole for the control cavity cover. and a little lip for that too. So, and I'm also going to chamber this side of the body too. So, so what I need to do next is, I think the next move I got to make is I have to, I want to drill in some alignment pins into these parts to where I could drill the alignment pins in now, take it apart, be able to do all the milling I'm going to do on all these parts, because each one of these is going to have something done to it, and then use the alignment pins to stick it back together. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some double-sided sticky tape. I'm going to stick the top and the back on each of these two wings, okay? Line it up in my CNC machine and drill my alignment pins. Now they've already been predetermined. I have the alignment pins just off of the edge of the profile of the guitar. So I'll be able to drill the alignment pins in now, take these apart. I'll be able to align each piece on top of the CNC machine in exactly the same location. Each time I could have it right side up or upside down, or just whatever I have to do. And then once all the milling is done on all these things, I'll use those alignment pins to glue these parts back together. When I glue it, I'll use the alignment pins to line everything up. And I'll also use then the alignment pins to put these parts back on the CNC machine now that they're all together, and I'll be able to cut out the profile, and I'll be able to bevel the edges and all that on the CNC machine while keeping the alignment correct based on the holes or whatnot that I've already drilled. So anyway, so I think that's going to be our next step. A little double-sided sticky tape, get over to that CNC machine and start drilling away.
Jesus, are you even real? Sometimes I pray, but I still can't feel the peace that you claim you would give when we had a hard day. No, I really shouldn't ask, but do you record all my bads? Will they put me in hell? Or is that a myth that the preachers sell? I still believe you're bigger than I am.
Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. Now this is my fixture that I will clamp down. I have this one edge here that's set to go against the fence that I have placed on the machine. Then I've got this hole down here in the corner, and that's my XY0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this fixture up on top of the CNC machine. I'll push it up against my fence. That way I know that this is in perfect alignment with the Y axis. And then I'll drop my 1/4-inch bit into this hole here. I'll move the gantry around until it hits this hole right here. And that's going to set me up for my XY0. That way, each time I put this fixture on here and do something else with this body part, any of these three pieces, I should be able to take them apart, use these two alignment pins, which fit right on these dowels, and they should stay in perfect alignment, whether it's right side up or upside down, or whatever. But anyhow, let me see right now how she fits. Nice. So that fits right on there, and I can see I'm right in my XY0 down here on the corner. So the next thing I'm going to do now is pull this tape off here, pull these pieces apart, and put each one on here individually and do the cutting I want to do on it, and hopefully it all goes back together and looks beautiful in the end. And the first thing I think I want to do is chamber out this body, the core of this body. So let's go ahead and get this apart and get rolling with that. Now this is my fixture, and these are the two alignment pins that I have in this fixture, and this is the treble side body fixture for the neck through guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push these up against the fence, this fence, so I know I'm good there, and then I could clamp it down, and I could put it almost anywhere, because see, I have this other hole here. Now that's going to be my XY0, which is figured into the body parts that I've already cut. So that should be the lower left-hand corner of each of the body parts. And if I want to take this off and I have need to put it back on and get that body part back on the CNC machine, I should be able to push this up against the fence, drop my 1/4 inch bit, that's a 1/4 inch hole, right into that hole, align it with that, and then set the machine that that's my XY0, which will then allow me to cut out parts and be in good alignment each time. As usual, I don't think I made any sense saying all that, but that is what I'm doing.
Somehow, you know, you love me the same. Somehow, you know, you love me the same. Somehow, you know, you love me. Jesus, I'll keep trusting you, not always because I want to, but there's nowhere else to go. The words feel different, this much I know. And I'll try my very best. At times it feels like life is just a test, like we were destined just to fail. Did you feel bad? Is that why you tore the veil? But I still believe you're bigger than all these things. When I don't know what to say, somehow you know you love me the same. Somehow you know you love me the same. Somehow you know you love me the same.
Okay, so that went pretty well. I got all the parts cut to as far as I wanted to at this point before we glue them together. I got my chambers cut. Now this one I did not cut all the way through. I left a little bit on the back because we got this control cavity cover that I want to screw into place using screws. And I need that little bit of extra thickness because by the time I cut the recess in the back of this thing, I want a little bit of meat to be able to get those screws in. So anyway, I got that, and I also got the recess here. This is the 1/4 inch top that's going to go right here. And I've got this, I did a little extra recess here because the short shaft potentiometers I use, they won't quite reach through a 1/4 inch thick top. So I took that down to about 3/16 in this area here. And I checked the potentiometers, they fit really well. And then on the base side, I did basically the same thing. Now the base side, I actually chambered it all the way through. As you can see, I cut it all the way through the thing because I won't need that thickness for the control cavity cover. I do have the control cavity that's going to go up here, but that actually lands right. You can see this, see the hole right here. That's the recess. Same thing for the switch here, and that lands in a spot where I can get my 2 screws in it right here and here, and so that'll hold on. So I have good meat there to catch into. So anyway, yeah, I think it went really well. So as you can see, I have my dowels. Got to get that one dropped back in place. I've got my dowels in place here that was the first thing I drilled on these body parts, which these dowel holes correspond to the fixture board that I had, which allowed me to take all these parts individually, and some things I did with the face up, and some things I did like here with the face down. And you're able to, when the fixture board is set, and I used the little XY zeroing point right here, that guy right there, I'm able to realign the CNC machine exactly each time and mill these parts from both the front and the back, and then have them go back together. And then once they're together, once I glue it up, I'll take these pins out once that glue starts setting, and I'll have those same alignment pins to put it back onto the fixture on the CNC machine, which is going to allow me to cut out the final profile. I'll bevel the edges and all that kind of thing. And I'm certain about it being lined up properly in the end. So anyway, so I am ready to glue this up. I've got one more thing to do. I still want to paint these control cavities with some conductive shielding paint right here, which I'm about to do, and I think I got just about enough left in this can to do these two. But I'm going to go ahead and do both of them. Now I not only have to do down in the cavity here, I'm going to have to do the back side of the covers, the front and back of the covers. And if you see, this is another operation I did on the CNC machine. I went ahead and put a 1/4 inch bit in there, and I marked out, I cut a 5/1000 of an inch deep little slot around this thing, which that is going to be the edge of my of this body contour, or the body chamber rather. Now this one I couldn't mark, I couldn't just flip it over and mark it with a pencil because I've got the back, I've got the Wenge back is still on there. So this one I was able to do that. I did that little thing around there, and that worked out really well. I'll just paint to that line. Now in this one, I'm just going to take it while I got it on there. I'll get out my pencil. I'll just trace around the thing right here, like so. And I'll take that off. I'll be able to paint that. I'll paint the edges of this. I'll paint the back side of that guy. And I'll have it nicely shielded, and then we can glue it up. So anyway, I'm going to get out some of that shielding paint right now and start painting away.
What my eyes cannot see, or has the antidote to brokenness evaded me? Could I believe in what my ears have not heard, or will the suffering that surrounds me have the final word? Even on the darkest nights I know the sun will rise. I will trust the promise I cannot see with my eyes. Even when the clouds surround, I know the sun.
Okay, so I think that came out really good. I've got 2 coats of the conductive shielding paint on all these parts. I got it on the inside, the top and back, and I've got all the cavities done. And I think we're ready to go. I think I've got everything done I wanted to do now before I start, before I glue these things up. We've still got quite a bit more CNC work to do on these body wings, but I think we're at the stage now we're ready to glue it up. And I've got my UltraCat glue out, I've got my mixer, and I've got my little can to mix it in and everything, and I'm ready to go. And I'm going to do that in between these 2 videos, but that's enough for this one. I think we've covered enough ground on this. And next week, when I come back, these things are going to be glued on here, and we're going to start doing the final profile cuts on this thing. We're going to get the bevels on there. We're going to get it all shaped up. Anyway, I hope you all dug it. I hope somebody got a little something out of this. I'm sure loving that CNC machine and trying to figure out how to make it do what I want it to do. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, I hope you all come back and check it out next time. In the meantime, God bless you, and you all have a wonderful week.